This is Kurt with WPHorde, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your domain in order to be able to use a multi-user WordPress system utilizing subdomains. So let's get to it. What you're going to do is make sure that you've already followed the steps in our Cloudflare tutorial to set up your domain name and incorporate that into Cloudflare. Once you have done that, what you're going to be able to do is come over to DNS. Once you log into Cloudflare, select the actual domain, select DNS records. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a wildcard record. And the wildcard record type is going to be a CNAME. Once you do the drop down and choose CNAME, you're going to put in an asterisk, and then the target is going to be your domain. So the asterisk means anything. So any subdomain .x-2.pw, it's going to be routed correctly. And then leave it as proxy status. That way you have the SSL certificate or the SSL security. And then click save. That's the first and the easiest portion of it. The next portion that we're going to be working on is actually inside of your cPanel. What we're going to be looking for is domains. We're going to come down here. We're going to click on domains. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding a new domain. But before we do that, we want to look what the main domain is, and it's /public_HTML, because we're going to point the wildcard to the same location. So we're going to click on create a new domain, and it's *x-2.pw. See, right now it's giving us a suggestion, but that's not what we're going to do. We're going to do /public_HTML. Make sure it is exactly the same, because if not, it will not work properly. /public_HTML. /public_HTML. Click on submit. This can take a moment to create the new domain, so keep that in mind. It will, and then once it's done, what we're going to be going to next is to create our WordPress site. Right now, there's not a WordPress site set up whatsoever, so we're going to install WordPress. And normally what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove any type of folder, because what we're going to do is leave it at the root. And yes, we're going to go over the top. We're going to give this a name. Call it the X2 network. And we're going to do the WordPress Classic plugin and theme set. We're going to leave everything else the same. And what we're going to do is click on install. Now here in just a moment, it's going to finish the install. And I'm just going to click on scan. And then once it's done, it's at 50%, so it'll take just a moment or two more. It is done now. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on login. It's going to log in as that admin. So now that we know that we can log in, I'm going to do something here real quick. I'm going to get rid of the WP admin just for a second, because I want to take a look at the site. We could see that it's SSL certified. And if we actually come to the beginning and do like just some hodgepodge letters and numbers in front, we can see whether or not the SSL and the wildcard is working, and it is. That's exactly what I wanted to see. So I'm just going to click back and click back. That way I know that the wildcard for the SSL and the wildcard from Cloudflare are working together. That's the reason why I tested that. So there's a few things that we're going to have to do. We're going to come over to plugins. We're going to click on installed plugins. And what we're going to do is we're going to deactivate the classic editor for right now. I am going to go ahead and delete the Skimmit and Hello Dolly. And delete those totally out of the system. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to come down to Tools, and I'm going to come over to network setup. Once at network setup, I'm going to choose subdomains. Now, the reason why I'm going to do subdomains is that's the reason why we're setting it up. Anything that's before the x-2.pw is going to be treated as a valid website. Anything. So we need to make sure that we are prepared for that. So what we're going to do is go ahead, and the network site's going to be called x-2 network sites. And I'm going to change this email address here real quick. That way I know what it is. Let me actually put that in a plus instead of a hyphen. And then install. Okay. So it's telling us that we are going to need to edit a couple of files. wp-config.php and htaccess. So what you could do is you could just copy everything that you see here to Notepad. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. So you can see, boom, I have everything copied and pasted into my Notepad. I'm going to come back over to cPanel. And I'm going to come over and I'm going to click on File Manager. And I'm going to come down to WP Config, right click, choose Edit, click on Edit, and it's telling me that we need to put this, add the following to your WP config file above the line that says, that's all, stop editing, happy publishing. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to copy everything here. We're going to look for that line. That's all. So we're just going to scroll down. And we're going to put it above this line, exactly as it told us to. And then click Save Changes. We're going to close out of that tab. Now, if you do not see your htaccess file, what you're going to want to do is come up to Settings, and you're going to want to make sure that Show Hidden Files are checked. If it's not checked, I'll show you you're not going to see it. You're not going to see it at all. So make sure that you check mark Show Hidden Files. We're going to right click on htaccess. We're going to choose Edit and Edit again. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to copy what we see here. And we're going to put it in between these tags. That's an opening tag here, and that's a closing tag. So we're just going to paste over the top of that, just like that. And then click Save Changes. Once we have that done, we can close out of that tab. We're going to come back over to the Enabling Network tab, and I'm going to hit the refresh button. And I'm going to have to log in again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat because I didn't write down my username and password. I'm going to come back into the cPanel here, click on WP Toolkit, and there is going to be a button for me to log in. That's what I'm going to utilize. Login's right here. I'm going to click on it. It's logging in as the admin, exactly as I want. And you're going to notice right now it says My Sites, and there is the network admin for sites and users. And then here's the network. So right now there's no sites besides the main site. And the only user is the main user. We're going to change that now. I'm going to click on Add New. And I'm going to call this User Editor. Its role is going to be, I'm sorry, I'm going to come down here because it's not an existing user yet. It is a brand new user. I'm going to call it Editor. And I'm going to put in my email address and make sure I spell it correctly. and I'm going to give this user administrator rights. I am also going to check mark here, add the user without sending an email that requires their confirmation. Makes life a little bit easier. So I'm actually going to leave it as is, editor, the name, the email address, administrator, add new user. Usernames can only contain lowercase, so we're just going to change that to lowercase e. Add new user. Done. That user's been added. Okay. So now that we have that user added, we're going to come to Network Admin. We're going to click on Sites, and we're going to add a new site. We're going to call this one Site 1. And just call it Site 1 here. And then the admin email. Do we remember the admin email? I'm going to come over and look at all users. Well, there's editor. That's the email address. So I'm going to copy it, paste it in. That's the admin email. Add site. I'm going to add site 2. Call this one site 2. Oh. Paste in the email address again. Add site. Done. So now if we look at all sites, we're going to notice that we have site 1 and we have site 2. We visit site 1. This is what it looks like. It's the same boring theme, right? Let's do something about that, shall we? We're going to come over to Installed Themes. And you're going to notice that we have just the standard 21, 22, and 23 themes. We're going to network enable those two, but what we're going to do is we're going to add some more. We're going to click on Add New, and we're going to look for blog themes. So we're going to look that up. That one's not bad. I'm going to install that one. Anything that just looks good to you that you think is going to be easy to, that it can use out of the box where you don't have to set it up. That's the whole main point. This one looks pretty minimalistic. Minimalistic blogs work great, but you can also go with some more that look like this. I like those too. So this is just your preference, what you want to see. I'm just running around just looking for a few. I'll get about 15, maybe 20. I'm just going to let you know that's about what I'm looking for. So I'm going to add a couple of more. And then if you want to look for ones that have your own features, come up to Feature Filter, Blog, One Column, or Grid Layout, one or the other, and Apply Filters. So now it's going to look for those style. Great. And then install the ones that you like. And that one's not bad, but I'm going to skip down and do this one instead. And just look around for the ones that you like. And I'm going to choose just a couple of more, and then that's it. That one's pretty minimalistic. I like that one. The reason why I like minimalistic is because it doesn't look like it needs a lot of setup. And that's the whole idea. This one, easy, install, done. Okay, so I've got plenty. So now I'm going to come back over to Installed Themes. And we're going to see that we have added 17 more. So we'll just do this, Network Enable, Apply. Now all of them are networked enabled. Done. Great. But we need to check our installed plugins. There's a few that we're going to have to do. We're going to enable the classic editor. I like it. You don't have to have it. It's totally up to you. We're going to come over to plugins, and we are going to look for Cloudflare. Flexible SSL for Cloudflare. We're going to choose install that because I am using Cloudflare. I'm going to activate it. And then we're going to upload one, which you're going to have access to. And I'm going to choose upload plugin, choose the file. And what I'm looking for is called random theme. So let me find this real quick. Take me just a moment. I know I had just uploaded that to Google Drive, so let me go to Google Drive and I will get that. Let me cancel just for a moment and I'm going to download this. Random theme. Got it. So now I'm close out of those, come over to choose file. It should be in my downloads. There it is. Install now. Network activate. So now, random theme on sign up. What do you think that means? Any new site that we install is going to randomly select one of these networked enabled themes. That makes your footprint much more unique. So here we go. So now we're going to come over to sites. We're going to, well, first let's come back over to the network admin. Grab our username again, right? Editor, all lowercase. Perfect, but we need the email address. You notice that what sites it has rights to? That's exactly what we're looking for. So we're going to add new. We'll call this one site 3. Now, these could be named anything that you want. I'm just doing this for simplistic reasons. Add site. Okay, now we've added a few sites. If we go look at site 3, so we're going to look at the sites. And there is site 3, right? We're going to visit it. This one is going to have a different theme than the other ones, and it does. There we go. Perfect. It's exactly what we wanted it to do. Have a unique theme every single time that we do that. So we're going to come over to all users. Now we have our editor user. We're going to edit this user. We're going to scroll down to the bottom and we need to give it an application password. Why? Because this is how WPHorde authenticates and is able then to post as that user. And the user is called editor, lowercase. So this is site 3, right? So we're going to log in to app.wphorde.com. Log in. Once we log in as this user, then we're going to go to blogs. Click on new blog, self-hosted, and this is the URL. We're going to copy it, paste it in. Username, we said, was editor, lowercase. We have the application password. Going to paste that in. Now you have a choice to allow guest posting for other people to post, so you earn guest posting credits. If you don't want to earn guest posting credits to post on other people, leave that unchecked and then click connect. And then that's it. Now we can do new blog again, self-hosted. Remember, if we go over to site 2, got to make sure that I put a period there. Grab that URL, paste that there. Username is editor, lowercase, the exact same password. It will be utilized on all because it's tied to that user, not to that individual blog. So now, anytime that we want to do spun content and we click here on selected blogs and we want to search for site, I'll just type in site. And if we scroll down, there's site 2, site 3, exactly what we were wanting to do. So we could select them both. Once we have them both selected, then we can go ahead and create the posts and then move forward with the other integrations such as AI content generation or RSS posting. Totally up to you. But that is how you set up a multi-user WordPress blog so you could set up multiple websites for your network, creating your own network. So I appreciate your time. Take care.